All right, now let's talk about arms, all right, the guns. Now, when it comes to training arms, again, the key focus we want to make sure that we have is about posture. It's about keeping ourselves elbows specifically in the right positions, especially when it comes to training biceps. So what you see here, we've got an EZ bar here. I prefer these sort of bars which got a slight little curve in it. Sometimes the straight bars, they put a bit too much tension on my elbows. And again, a lot of what we're trying to do here is we're not trying to get injured. We're not trying to cause any issues further down the line as well. So EZ bars are really, really good. And what I'm going to show you here is two different types of movements we're going to have. We're going to do one which is inner, which is going to work more the inside of the bicep, and then we're going to do one which is outer, which works the outside of the bicep. Okay, so for the inner, what we're going to focus on doing, again, you can see what my grip position is. It's more close together. Now from here, we're actually going to bend our knees a bit more and bring our elbows up a bit higher. See where the elbow position is now, and now we're going to feel like we're extending the bar out. Okay, we're not feeling like we're bringing the bar down. We feel like we're opening up the bicep here, and you're going to get such a better return on your investment. Okay, so squeeze hard, slow down, extend open, pause, and squeeze. Slowly down, pause, squeeze. Squeeze. All right, you see there that I almost went to failure on that particular set. So when we talk about failure, that means that you literally can't do any more reps with good form. Super, super important, all right? And you can see I'm out of breath here, and actually my abs, I can really feel my abs feel tight because I'm in this position here, and naturally in that position I have to squeeze the abs. So I'm bringing it down. So not only is this great for arms, it's going to give you a bit of an abs workout as well. So that's the inner side. Now we're going to move to the outside. When we come to the outside, what we can do is have a bit more of a traditional stance. We don't need to bend forward as much. And this time though, we're not going to feel like we're opening up. We're just going to bring the bar down. But again, the elbows do not move. They stay fixed in the same position. Down here, up, squeeze hard. Slowly down. Full stretch, pause at the bottom, and squeeze hard. Slowly down for 3, pause, up for 2, squeeze hard for 2. Slowly down for 3, pause for 1, up for 2, squeeze hard for 2. Okay, now I'm going to try and push this towards failure. You can see, so you can see what I will do in the right scenario to get the best intensity in your workouts, okay, because that's super important, okay? So, I'm going to try and aim for 3 more reps. 1, 2, I'm struggling now. 3, I've got 2 more left in me. 1, 2, 3. Right, so what you notice I did there in those last reps was instead of trying to bring the bar up and do a full rep, I simply focused on doing half reps. Right, the last couple of reps, they were just half reps. I wasn't getting too much movement. What basically happens is when your muscle gets fatigued, the contraction point, which at the start when I'm fresh is up here at the top, has now become lower because I can't get the bar up. If I was to then force the bar up, what would happen? I'd have to use my whole body. I'd have to bring the bar up. I'd bring my lower back into play. I'd bring my shoulders play. I don't want to do that. I'm only specifically working the biceps. So I just shorten things up when I know that I'm struggling. I get 2 more reps out of it and I'm done. That way I've trained effectively. I've got the most out of that exercise and I'm making sure that I'm staying injury free. All right, let's talk about legs. So without doubt, arguably the most important body part to be training, especially if you're looking to get lean and build a powerful physique. You've got to understand that when you hit 35 as a man, your natural testosterone starts to diminish. By training legs, you actually are able to release more growth hormone from doing so. Therefore, it's going to give you a better return on your investment when it comes to getting leaner, building a stronger, powerful physique. The foundation's super important. The other thing about training legs is because it's the biggest body part, you burn the most amount of calories, usually per body part, when you train legs. Okay, so it's super important that if you're looking to get lean, if you're looking to maximize your testosterone naturally, you've got to have legs in your training routine, all right? And again, it comes down to that balance perspective as well. There's no point having a great upper body if you've got fucking stick legs. It doesn't look good, especially when you're going to the beach. Right, so what we're going to focus on is a couple of exercises that you can be doing. Now, a lot of people, when they think about training legs, they think about doing back squat. I do not suggest doing this, especially if you've not been training for a while, or you're new to the game, or even if you've got experience. Back squat can put a lot of extra pressure on your lower back that you do not need. Remember, you're not 21 anymore, right? You can't be clanging and banging, you're gonna get yourself fucking injured. So, what I'm gonna focus on is a couple of different movements you can do. You don't necessarily need to have a kettlebell, you can use a dumbbell as well, but this first movement is gonna be more of what we call a piston style squat, where you're gonna be bringing the weight up and squeezing your quads at the top. This is mainly gonna work the quads. It will bring the hamstrings into play as well, and the glutes, okay, but mainly gonna be working the quads. So you're gonna go wide with your stance, okay? You'll notice that it's super important that you try and feel like you're putting all the weight onto your heel, and the best cue I've got for you, imagine you've got a weight on your bum and that weight is pulling you down. Imagine that's the case. If that was the case, keep your back nice and straight, chest up, okay, looking forward, and bringing it down into this position here, okay? That's what I want you to focus on. Coming down, feeling like the weight is going into your back of your heels and there's something on your ass bringing you back down, all right, pulling you down. That's the technique we're looking for. Otherwise, what happens is you end up coming over here and doing this and fucking up your knees and fucking up your ankles. We want to avoid that. So, the kettlebell being placed here, nice wide athletic stance, chest up, coming down here, feeling like my knees are pushing out. I'm gonna grab the kettlebell here, look forward, I'm gonna bring it up, right? It's super important not to bend over and feel like you're dragging from your back, because you're gonna pull your back. So feel like everything's coming from your legs. Up it comes, squeeze hard at the top, down slow. Pause at the bottom, bring it up, squeeze hard at the top. Again, you're squeezing those quads. Breathe in, and squeeze. One more. Okay, that squeeze of the quads at the top is super, super important. Again, a lot of people, what they do, they just like bounce up and down like this. You're not getting the return on your investment. Unless you squeeze that target muscle, you're missing a massive trick. It's like washing your feet with your socks on. You might get a little bit wet, but you're not getting the job done, okay? Super important to remember that. The other exercise you can bring into play, and remember guys, this is a demonstration. This is not me training to fail, it's not me maximizing or pushing myself to the nth degree, because I'm doing a demonstration of what needs to be done. I would want you to get into a situation though, where you're aiming for 3 rounds or 3 sets, 12 to 15 reps. And again, that last rep should be a real struggle to get it up, right? That's what she said. Now, the other exercise you can be doing is more of a front squat, the dumbbell like this. However you place the dumbbells down to you, whatever feels comfortable, this position, that position, it doesn't matter too much. Again, the focus point is more the technique. And it's the same technique again, feeling like you're pushing back, coming down to this position, hold, driving forward, squeeze at the top. I'll give you the side angle here so you can see. Coming down, hold at the bottom, squeeze at the top. Squeeze those quads as hard as you possibly can. Okay, so either or of those exercises is absolutely fine to get you started when it comes to training your legs, okay? If you did all of the exercise I gave you today and you wanted to put it together as a circuit as well, that's what you can also do. That will give you a fantastic circuit-based style training as well. Otherwise, if you want to piece them together, do 3 sets of all the exercises I've given you, anything between 12 to 15 reps. Take a 60-second rest in between those sets, and remember to squeeze that target muscle as hard as you possibly can for 1 to 2 seconds. Okay, if you take anything away from this video today, again, it's squeeze the target muscle like it owes you money. That's Ben Pakulski's saying. It's a fantastic saying. So just squeeze it as hard as you possibly can. The reason is we want to try and get as much tension, much stimulation on those muscle fibers. Your muscles won't grow unless they're fully stimulated. Okay, so you've got to make sure you keep the tension on the muscle. You've got to make sure that you keep the technique good and you squeeze it as hard as you possibly can. If you follow that simple guidance, you're going to get such a better return on your investment when it comes to training. Your results will start maximizing, and most importantly, as I keep saying, you're not going to fuck yourself up. The training we're doing today is the training you can do for the next 20, 30 years of your life. You don't have to be going super heavy. If your technique's good and you've got the right tempo, you don't need to be pushing heavy weights. You can keep the weights moderate, and as you execute this technique and you start to really understand the technique and feel the technique, as you build confidence through it, then you can start to add more weight. Then you can start to really focus on getting stronger per se. But by doing this types of movement anyway, especially with the slow eccentrics, it's really, really good for building strength too. All right, so typically for me, once I've finished my weight training part of my workout, I'd always finish with some sort of cardio. Now the 2 options you've got is HIIT cardio, which can be done on any machine that you want, right? Anything you want. The whole purpose of HIIT cardio is to get your heart rate jacked up and go at 100% of your maximum for a short period of time, a short burst, and then recover. So it could be 15 seconds of all-out activity with 45 seconds rest, and repeat. Repeat that for no more than 10 minutes. That's absolutely fine. That's your HIIT cardio portion. This is good for overall fitness. It has the EPOC effect, which means you're burning calories for a 24-hour period after you've done the exercise training. Also, it's very time convenient. It's only 10 minutes. The other style of cardio you can do would be LIST cardio, low impact, steady state. And that can be done, again, on any machine that you want. I like doing, if you walk over here into the treadmill, I like doing it on here. This is obviously good for low impact. If you're feeling a bit fucked up after your actual session, then what you can do is just come on here, again, 20 minutes. And you want to try and keep your heart rate usually about 55 to 6% of your maximum heart rate. So anything between sort of 120 to 130 beats per minute. It's kind of where you want to be. I like to jack up the incline or the gradient, and I'll just walk. And you'll know when you're doing lifts correctly at the right intensity because you'll just about be able to hold a conversation. Okay, it's a light sweat, it's a low impact move that you can be doing to get your steps in. And again, HIIT, LIST, these are your 2 main cardios you want to be doing for maximizing burning body fat, all right? So for me though, I would probably warm up with like 10 minutes of LIST just to get myself a bit of a sweat on before I start my training, okay? And sometimes if I'm feeling quite fatigued or I'm feeling like I've maxed out my weight training, then I might do 20 minutes of this afterwards. But typically for me, what I love to do is HIIT, because I like to push myself. I like to keep my fitness levels high and my stamina high, and nothing's better than HIIT. So I'm just going to quickly show you, using the rower, what I mean by HIIT. Okay, the reason why I love the rower, because it's almost like a bit of a full body workout in itself. But remember, you don't need to use a rower. You can use anything you want. Stationary bike, you can go for sprints outside, skip and rope, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is the intensity which you train at. Now with the rower, here, again, the technique we're looking for is to really extend out nice and long. Hold here, arms go forward, you move into it, then you row out. Arms go forward, you move into it, then you row out, okay? So an example of HIIT training, what I'm gonna give you now, I'm gonna do 10 seconds all out, then I'm gonna have a rest, and then go again, okay? So, the intensity I'd probably looking to go at is this. I might do that for 10, 15 seconds. I'll then rest. So I'll finish my last rep, I'll then rest. You can rest by doing nothing, or you can just do shallow, very light strokes. And then once the clock says go, you go again. Okay, you can see a bit out of breath now. And again, you get the heart rate come back down again. You rest, and then you repeat that for another 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I wouldn't do more than 10 minutes to start with. Start building up your baseline fitness. If you add the HIIT or the list or both into your sessions at the end, as cardio at the end of your session, that's going to help obviously create a further calorie burn. Means that you'll be into a further calorie deficit, which means you'll be shredding body fat down as long as you keep the nutrition where it needs to be. But that's how I end my sessions, with a HIIT or list, job done. All right guys, thank you for checking out my video today. I hope you got some value from this session. I'm on a mission to help 1,000 men over 40 take back control of their health and fitness so they can step up and lead their family with certainty. So please do not forget to like and subscribe, and to share this with anyone who you feel might get some value from it.